All right, welcome, guys. Our topic today is how to create an effective personal brand. And most of you know already how personal brand can be an incredible asset for your business. And especially nowadays, when we are in the age of social media, when we are in the online age of business building, personal brand can be a very, very strong tool for you to use. Sometimes it can become a main tool for you to use in order to expand your customer base and your team. So, what should you know when it comes to building a personal brand? Well, first of all, I want to be rich doesn't really resonate with your audience, right? Well, that might be the reason why you got started in the business because you want to, change your financial, situation. You want to help your family. You want to build a tremendous business, etc. But that message doesn't really resonate with the audience, right? So what does resonate with the audience? Well, what you want to do is pivot from accumulation to contribution. So you want to change your message from, I need more customers, I need more business partners, I need more money. We know you need that. And we all need that, and it's totally fine. But that shouldn't be the message you're transmitting, right? The message should be of contribution, like what can you give, right? You don't build a brand on what you want to get, you build the brand on what you want to give, right? So how you want to contribute to other people, how you want to change lives, how you want to provide them with useful information, with tips, with advice, with motivation, with humor, whatever it is, like what you're going to give them first before you ask for something in return, right? That's how you build that brand that attracts people. You want to serve before you sell, right? You want to serve people before you offer anything for them to buy, right? So you want to be of service, you want to help people, you want to change people's lives, you want to, add value to them, right? And in order to do all of that, you have to see the end in the beginning. What does that mean? You have to have the vision of what you're building here in order for you to be building it long enough for it to actually give you results. What I mean by that is many people hear the idea of personal brand, like, hey, I would love to have thousands and thousands of people following me, trusting my advice, following my recommendations, buying from me, joining my team, asking, begging me to join my team, right? Like that sounds amazing. But like all of that work part is really not exciting. And especially when they start doing it and a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, and there's no result, they give up. They stop doing it because they don't get that immediate result. So I'm going to share with you a story that hopefully will help you as much as it helped me. So when I first decided to start doing lives every single day, which was about 5 years ago now, something like that, 4 or 5 years ago, I made a decision to do the lives. But how I came to that decision? Well, I was watching one of my mentor, Ray Higdon's trainings, and he said in that training, like by the time I was started to follow him, he was huge already. But he said, like, the way I've built my audience was I decided to do a video every day. And at that time, there was no lives. You just filmed the video on the camera and then you've uploaded it to YouTube, right? But he said, when I decided to do that, because I understood how brand building works, I knew it's going to take some time. So I said to my wife, that's him saying, I said to my wife, I will do these videos every day for 2 years, even if I don't get any result. Because I know eventually that brand will grow and it will start generating me leads and customers and everything, right? Because you've seen that elsewhere. Like, think about it. Every influencer, every huge person online, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, they all started from zero. They all had to create their account with 0 followers and start somewhere, right? So when I heard my mentor saying that, I said, well, he's smarter than me. He's better looking than me. He's American, like So, hey ho, I'll do this for 4 years, even if I don't get the result. Like, I don't care, right? I know eventually I'll attract people too. I'll attract my tribe. So I'll just do this for 4 years, even if I don't get a result. And guess what? I got the result much quicker. Even after 1 year, I started making some real good money from social media. But my mindset was, I'll do this as long as it takes. So that's why I didn't care, like, oh, how many views did this video get? Oh, how many likes or comments? Oh, how many people are following me? Like, I was not bothered by that. When I first started, I would do a live and there's like 2 people watching, 3 people watching, 4 people watching, right? Not many, not hundreds, not thousands, etc. But I didn't care about it. I knew if I show up every single day, they will come. Eventually, I will attract my audience, right? So you have to see that end in the beginning when you're first starting out in order for you not to get discouraged, in order for you not to stop doing it, because at the beginning it's going to be mundane. In the beginning, it's going to be boring because not much is happening, and you keep showing up and you keep giving and you keep giving and you keep giving. But that's what it takes. You see, many people, once they've seen my results, once I started making money from social media, and now I've made hundreds of thousands of pounds from social media. Once people started seeing that, of course they want that, like, oh my gosh, this guy is killing it, like he's making a lot of money from these, from all of the social media. So they started trying to sell stuff too, and nobody's buying. And they come to me, Gediminas, like, I'm offering the same offer that you're offering. I'm trying to sell the same thing that you're selling, but nobody's buying from me. I go, great, how many videos did you do before you started selling? Well, I didn't want that part, like, I just want to sell, I want to start making money right away. That's where you're going wrong, right? Because they didn't do the investment, the social equity. They haven't built a personal brand, but they want to get the benefits of a personal brand. It doesn't work that way, right? So it's going to take some time for you to build up that personal brand before you can start reaping the rewards of it, right? Before you see the fruits of your labor. So how can you create that personal brand? Well, number one is value. That is the language of personal brand. Value is the language of personal brand. And it is the best way to build trust. Think about it. You want total strangers to come and buy from you and partner up with you and join your business and listen to you, etc. They don't know you, they don't trust you, they don't like you. So how are you going to gain all of that? Is through giving them value. What is value? Well, it may be tips, it may be advice, it may be useful information, it may be humor even. It may be something else. It may be a lifestyle. We're going to talk about showing your lifestyle, right? But you want to give them something to go on, to really start getting interested in you, to really start saying, hey, it's worth following this person. I was listening to the training, to this branding training from our mentor, Eric Worre, and he invited one lady who in 10 years of being in network marketing has made over $51 million. And she built a lot of that through Instagram and through building her personal brand. She started from zero and built it up, right? And she said, I want to be the person who other people would say it pays to follow her. It pays to be her friend. It pays to be around this person, right? It's so valuable that I want to be around that person. It's so valuable to follow them that I want to spend as much time around them as possible. That's the person I wanted to become when I started my social media brand building. And that's the person you should want to become. A person of value. They say don't try to be interesting person, rather try to be a valuable person. When you become a valuable person, when you become a resource for other people, they will want to hang around you. They will want to do business with you. They will want to be part of your team. They will want to be even your customer. People have a choice to buy a product from anybody, but they will choose you because of the value you provided. I've shared the story before where When I first started in network marketing, our mentor Irina recommended for me to watch Eric Worre. And at that time, Eric Worre wasn't that known as he is now. He was like just the beginning of doing these YouTube videos, etc. And Irina said, hey, there's this great guy. I met him in America. Watch his videos. You might learn a thing or two. And I started watching his videos. And he was doing like 3, 4 videos every week. Like, it's not selling anything, just pure value. Like, hey, here's a tip. Here's a tip. Here's a tip. And we've watched his training for, I don't know, maybe 8 months, maybe 10 months, maybe even a year. Like, it was a long time. I was learning and using all of his stuff, etc. And then I remember one day he announces that, hey, I'm going to be selling this course for $200. Now, at that time, $200 for me sounded like $2 million, right? It was a huge amount of money. So I went to Irina and I said, you have to buy this course, right? Because the guy gave us so much value. I feel guilty not buying the course from him. Like, I don't have enough money, but we need to buy this course, right? Because, yeah, of course we did. Because he gave us so much value for free. Just imagine what we will get if we pay the $200, right? And it was amazing. It was great. It was so much value, right? But you know what I mean? Like, I felt guilty not to buy it because he gave me so much value. That's the person you want to become. You want to give so much value that people feel guilty not to join your team. People feel guilty not to buy from you. But that means over delivering, right? And that's why I have it here. Consistency equals daily, right? Like, if you're posting once a week, forget about it, right? That's just not enough. You're just drowning in the sea of information on social media, and nobody is even going to notice you. Nobody's going to even see you, right? Like, if you think I'm now doing a lot of content, wait till what you see in New Year. Like, I'm going to be posting so much. I'm going to be doing so many lives on so many different platforms that smoke will be coming out of my ear, right? But that's how you want to be. You want to over deliver. You want to give so much that it becomes insane, where your followers start saying, like, I can hardly keep up with all the stuff you're putting out there. I can hardly consume all the content you're putting out there. And trust me, like, I'm warming up to that. Some of you've seen, I've already started doing TikTok lives with Rita. Some of you've seen I've been doing some Instagram lives as I'm driving, right? And I'm going to be doing more and more and more of this stuff. So come New Year, I always do first 3 months in a year, I do this insanity bootcamp. And I'm going to go nuts with this thing, right? Because I want to over deliver. I want to give so much value that, like my mentor Ray Higdon says, be so good they can't ignore you. Be so good that it becomes impossible not to see you, right? Number 2, interest, right? You have to raise interest. And what do I mean by that is your content is your creative expression. It's your truth. It's your passion. It's your authenticity. I don't know if many of you heard, like, it becomes very popular now. Everybody's saying that thing. That authenticity, the vibration of authenticity, is highest vibration on earth. Authenticity is higher vibration than even love, which I thought love was like ultimate vibration. Like, what can be better than love, right? When you love people, when you love on people, etc. But authenticity is even higher. You know why? Because it's rarer. It's rarer because so few people are authentic. Think about it. Why did you buy those shoes? Oh, because I saw them in the magazine, because that celebrity has those shoes. Why did you buy that car? Because my neighbor bought that car. You know what I mean? Like, we always trying to be like somebody else. We're always trying to copy other people. We're always trying to pretend like someone, right? We admire, we look up to, etc. But being yourself, that's the most important thing. And then you start loving what you're doing. Because think about it, if you have to pretend every day to make content on social media, you have to pretend to be someone else in order to do that video, in order to do that story, in order to write that post. That's freaking exhausting. That's bloody depressing. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, I have to pretend again. Oh my gosh, I have to put the mask again. But what if you could do the content just being yourself? Wouldn't you love what you do then? Because it would just be like you living your life. That's why it's written here. Wrap your life around it. It's not wrap your life around the content. It's wrap the content around your life, meaning you're already living it. You just need to start documenting. You just need to start showing more, right? Think about it, how all of these celebrities, people follow them, and what do they pay attention? Oh, what handbag did she buy? Oh, where did she get that shoes? Oh, I wonder what she eats for breakfast. Oh, I wonder, you know what I mean? They're nosy. They want to know what happens in that person's lifestyle. Guess what? You can be the same kind of celebrity. You can be that same person, and people, I trust you. I tell you, people care about that stuff. Like they go, I wonder how she gets her hair to be blue. Like, I wonder what she does there. Like, how on earth she does that, right? I wonder, how she gets that thing. I wonder what she does there, right? They want to know. And most of us go, oh, nobody will be interested in my life. That's not true, because most people don't show their life. When you start showing your life, showing the backstage of it, they start going, oh my gosh, what's happening, right? And by the way, Facebook is now playing up a bit, but follow Irina's stories, because you'll see a backstage story of her. Or actually, it's going to be a reel, probably not even a story, but you will see a reel from Irina that you definitely don't want to miss. But at the minute, the Facebook is been playing around. Okay, number 3 is belonging. People want to belong. And here comes in your leadership messaging. What is leadership messaging? It means elevating other people, leading out loud, right? You want to be influential, then you want to go first. You want to show the example, right? So whatever you want your team to do, you have to do it first. You have to show them the example. Don't wait for them to do it if you don't do it, right? So it's all about, getting people into this feeling of, wow, when they spend time around you, they feel better. When everybody's talking about politics, about this, that, and the other, about all the disasters that are happening, etc., you want to be the person who brings hope. You want to be the person who brings light into their life. You want to be the person who brings motivation into their life, right? Where they spend time with you, they read your post, they watch your video, they feel, wow, I feel better because I spent that minute with her. I feel better because I spent those 10 minutes with her, right? Number 4 is enthusiasm, like my mentor Mark J says, right? It's passion for helping people. It's that service culture, right? It's that serve before you sell, right? And for that, you need your mission and you need your purpose, right? So, like we said, people don't get attracted to somebody who says, I want to be rich, but people get attracted to somebody who says, I want to help people be rich. Right? That leader that I mentioned to you, that I watched her training, who made $51 million, what's her mission? What's her brand? Is helping 1,000 families to make $1 million. Her mission is to help 1,000 families become millionaires. And she's already helped like 150. Right? But her mission is 1,000. She's got jewelry with 1,000 families. She's got signs at her house with 1,000 families. Like, nobody, if she said, oh, my goal is to be a billionaire, right? To make 100 million in network marketing. Who gives a crap? Like, nobody cares about that. But my goal is to help 1,000 families to become millionaires. Ooh, I like that. Maybe I could become one of those families, right? That's your mission, right? That's your passion, right? That's your, so the money becomes like a side effect. You're gonna make the money anyway. But you want to be the person who outserves everybody, who gives more than everybody else, right? Number 5 is dignity. Take it seriously. Greatness takes time. People won't believe you at first, and they shouldn't, because you might be full of shit. Sorry for my French, right? But like, everybody talks the talk, not everybody walks the walk, right? So, like, this personal brand thing is not just a game. It's, if you really want it to work, you have to take it seriously. You have to understand that, hey, I'm going to do this until and despite, right? I'll do this until I build it to the size I want it. And I do despite all the haters, all the hardships, all the, unsuccessful attempts and everything, right? Because I take this seriously. My mission is important. It's not just words. It's not just, oh, yeah, I say it because it sounds good. Like I really want to be the most giving person, the most valuable person in my circle. Maybe not in the world, not yet, but in my circle, I want to be the most valuable person. Like if they decide to clear the Facebook and delete all the friends that they don't need, they keep me, right? I want to be that person who go, oh no, I don't want to unfriend him. Oh, I don't want to unfollow him. Like I want to pump out so much value that they don't unsubscribe from my newsletter because they go, I dare not unsubscribe from his newsletter because there's so much value in it. You know what I mean? And finally, number 6, be memorable, right? Be memorable. Surprise them, shock them, raise curiosity, stand out. Like, don't be the same. We already spoke about that authenticity, right? So you want to separate yourself out. You want to be different. You want to shock them. You want to surprise them. You want to raise the curiosity. You don't want to be like everybody else. Because that's what we were taught, right? Don't be a black sheep or don't be a white crow or whatever, right? Don't be a odd one out, right? Don't be a weird one. Be a weird one. Embrace the weird because that's what's going to separate you out. Because if you're like everybody else, you're invisible. Nobody's noticing even you. Nobody's listening to you because you seem like everybody else, right? So you want to stand out. You want to be a little bit different. And in order to build this personal brand, you want to create attractive character. What does that mean? Number 1 is vulnerability. Be vulnerable. Show things that other people wouldn't show. Tell things that most people go, ooh, I wouldn't say that about myself. Ooh, I wouldn't. But it's not about, getting people depressed. Like you can share about your failures. You can share about your traumas, but don't leave them there. Like show the valley and then show the up. Like, hey, look, I had this, big, huge problem, but this is what I've learned from it. I had this huge challenge, but that's how I managed it, right? So like my mentor Ray Higdon always says, you can teach from the scar, but you can't teach from the wound. If you're still in the hole, then you don't say, hey, look, I'm in the hole. That's the end of story. I'm still in the hole, right? You want to tell them, hey, I was in a hole, but this is where I am now, right? So being vulnerable, it's about inspiring people, right? Telling your story, telling your product story, your business story, your everyday life story, taking them on this journey, taking them on the story. By the way, I'll share this with you because I'm going to use this in my social media. I've been following this guy on YouTube. Some of you have maybe heard of him. His channel is called Outdoor Boys. His name is Luke, and he's a guy who lives in Alaska, and he goes camping like with his sons or on his own, and he goes in the middle of the forest and builds these campsites, survives like under snow, in like all these things. But what he does, he basically has a camera with him and it takes you with him. And he shows you how he's building the shelter, how he's cooking his meals, etc. His channel has over 11 million subscribers. He puts a video out and there's like millions of views. And he makes huge money from YouTube. He's a YouTuber. Like now he's a professional, but he's been doing it, by the way, for 11 years, right? So hey, he hasn't started yesterday, right? It took some time to get to that point. But like it's amazing to watch his videos of how he takes you on that journey, on that story. And some of you, I'd recommend you, like even if you don't care about camping or outdoor stuff, just watch how his videos go. It's like few seconds, change another, like another view, few seconds, boom, another view. It doesn't just put the camera there and go like for boring 30 minutes of something, right? it keeps changing. Like he's walking to the car, he's already in the car, he's getting out of the car, he's dragging his stuff to the campsite, he's cutting the wood, he's starting the fire, he's cooking the food. You know what I mean? And the video might be half an hour or an hour, but it's like it feels super quick. It feels super short because it takes you on that journey. So what you want to do the same thing. Like I'm not saying go camping now and start a camping channel, but take people on your story. So like we're planning to drive to Lithuania, for example, for Christmas. And I'm planning to do what he does and film the whole journey, like from when we're leaving home in UK to when we get in the door in Lithuania, right? With these little snippets, like how we get on the ferry and how are in France and how we are in Germany and how we are in Lithuania. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm already thinking in my head, like this guy does something completely doesn't relate to my business, but I'm already racking my brain because I know people love that stuff. Otherwise, 11 million people wouldn't watch his videos, right? So how can I apply that in my business? Maybe I could do the same thing when I go to a conference. Maybe I could do the same thing when I go to do a Christmas fair, do take people on the journey. Maybe I could do it. You know what I mean? I'm already thinking, how can I take people on the journey? Because people love to see that, your journey, what people care about. Think about what people care about. Can I talk about that? What's important to you? What's important to you? They say if you don't stand for anything, you would fall for everything. So what do you stand for? What's important to you? Don't be scared to be polarizing, to actually say your opinion. If you love Trump, you can say you love Trump. And if you love the other one, whatever the other one is, you can say you love that one, right? Like it doesn't really matter. But like don't be scared to tell your views, to stand strong for what you believe, right? Like I'm not talking about politics. I hope you understand that. Like whatever. If like network marketing for me is my passion, right? And a lot of people hate network marketing, but I'm the one defending it. I'm the one saying it's the best thing. I'm the one, whatever, right? So like what you know what I mean? And people crave connection, whatever form of that connection. Maybe it's in the comments, maybe it's in your live video, maybe it's in the private messages, etc. Like me and Rita started doing these TikTok lives, and it's crazy how many people would watch them, who would come on board and etc. Total strangers, etc. Right? Who've never seen us before, but they would watch them. They would, people crave. And like if you go on TikTok, you see some people literally do a live, they're just sitting there and eating food and there's like 500 people watching it. Why? Because people crave connection. Like maybe for them, that's the only way how they can be in front of another person because they maybe don't have any people to talk to or to spend time around. You know what I mean? Like I know I'm getting a bit deep here, but like that's what your brand can be. Your brand can be so strong and the connection can become so strong that business is just like I don't want to say it's like a side effect, but it's like they will do the business for you anyway because they already want to spend time around you. They will buy your product from you. They could buy the product from anywhere they want, but they will buy it from you just to spend more time with you. Because you know what I mean? That's why like people like they buy stuff that celebrities use and things like that, just so I can be a little bit like that person because they love that person so much. They adore that person so much. Right? And like I said, what would people not normally share? That's the part of vulnerability, right? That's the part of like when you mess up. And by the way, that guy from Luke from Outdoor Boys, when I watch his videos, he deliberately leaves the stuff when he messes up. Like he's cutting the tree down and the tree falls and it falls straight on the bloody camera. Like, and he cuts most of the stuff out, but he leaves that thing in, or he's doing some fishing in the river and the camera falls into the water and he leaves that, like deliberately on purpose to show that he messes up too, or he like goes, he does this food, he cooks the food, while he's camping, and like he tells you like, oh crap, this time I forgot my cutlery or I forgot to put the yeast in the flour, to make the bread or whatever. He could have skipped that part and not tell you, and you wouldn't even know it. You know what I mean? And it would be perfect video. But he deliberately puts it in because that's what most people wouldn't share. That's the vulnerability, right? So, you know, um, this comes from the Bible where it's, it says your sheep will hear you. If you talk to your sheep will hear you, right? And it basically is a good thing for us because it doesn't matter the competition. You see, sometimes you may decide, okay, I want to start talking about health, or I want to start talking about weight loss, or I want to start talking about the beauty. But darn it, so many people do it already. So many people already talk about that thing. It doesn't matter. We could all talk about the same thing every single day, and somebody will join you, somebody will join me, somebody will join somebody else, right? Because we all have our own sheep. We all have our own tribe of people. We all have our own kind of person who will like us, right? Somebody who likes me might not like you, and vice versa, right? So this way it liberates you. You don't need to worry like, oh, how many people also talk about the same thing? It doesn't matter. When I started doing training, like for network marketing, like in my own language in Lithuanian, I started it because nobody was doing it. And then I started doing it, and somebody goes, oh, I saw what you do. I thought to do the same thing. And then somebody else messages me, oh, I saw what you're doing. I had the same idea. They're still not doing it. Right? They had the idea, but they're still not doing it. You know what I mean? Because maybe they're scared of competition, maybe they're scared of whatever, but it doesn't matter. 100 people could do the same thing and still would be enough money for everybody, because that's the mentality of abundance, right? Like it's enough for everybody. Okay, so you heard all about that. I hope that I've sold you on why you have to have a personal brand and why it's so amazing. But now you may be thinking, well, what do I need? What do I need to create this personal brand? Probably I need some things that I don't have, and that's going to be my good excuse not to do it. All right, so let's see. You only need 3 things, by the way, to build your personal brand. Number 1, you need a good camera. There you go. That's my excuse. I need a good camera. I don't have a good camera, so I'm excused. I don't need to build my personal brand. Oh, no, you don't. You know why? Because you have the best camera. It's your phone. Your phone has a better camera than most cameras on this planet. Like there has never been so good cameras as they are now in our phones. So you don't need to buy a separate camera. You don't need to buy a camcorder. You don't need to buy a camera. You don't need to buy one of those DSLR, huge lens things, etc. You already have amazing camera on your phone. So that's sorted. Okay, this excuse is not going to work for you. Okay, let's go for number 2. Number 2, you need social platforms. You need channels through which you could build your brand, right? And guess what? You all have either Facebook or an Instagram or a TikTok or a YouTube. No excuses. It's free of charge, and all of you can have it. You can have all of them, right? You can have omnipresence, meaning be everywhere, right? And it doesn't even cost you a penny. And some of you might miss this point. This is huge. Like 20 years ago, you would have had to get on TV or on radio or to be in a magazine in order to build a personal brand. Now, each of you can have a personal brand because we have social media. Anybody can have it. Anybody can have the personal brand, right? Like it doesn't cost you anything. It's free. Right. Number 3, you need to make content. There you go. There you go. That's why I can't have personal brand, because I don't know how to make content. Do you remember what I said today already? All you have to do is document your life. You are already living your life anyway. You're already doing it anyway. You get up and you go brush your teeth. You go walk the dog. You go to the gym. You drive to work. You go meet that girlfriend for a cup of coffee. You get a parcel and you're unpacking it. You're meeting with a customer. You're watching this training Zoom. What you have to start doing is documenting it all. When we started, I saw Genevieve get her phone out and do something, right? She either took a picture or maybe she did a little video or whatever. That's it. You just need to do 10 times more of it. Literally, you need to start documenting all of your life. You got up, you start reading something, do a picture. You went to a bathroom and you apply some products, do a video of that. You meet with a friend for a cup of coffee, do a video, maybe interview them, maybe have a little chat with them, right? You got in a car and you're going to drive somewhere, do a story. You know what I mean? Just start documenting what's already happening in your life. And you know what's going to start happening? People going to start getting nosy. Oh, what's that perfume she had in her handbag? Oh, what's that cream she's applying? Oh, what's those pills she's using? Oh, what she's right? People start getting curious. Like, what is she doing? Because you just all of a sudden you became that celebrity. You became that person of interest that they are following around. And trust me, when you start doing this, like I've heard this so many times from other people, and I've had that happen to me. Where people, if you don't post a story that day, people start messaging you, hey, are you okay? Is everything okay? Like, I haven't seen your story today. I haven't seen your post today. I haven't seen your video today. Is everything okay? Because I've been waiting, right? Because now they're hooked. Like they are following you around, right? That's the power of personal brand. So that's our trading for today, guys. Hope you got value. And as usual, we're going to go in and have some question and answers.